Hey there, good morning. I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach, and yes, it is true, I got all dressed up. You think for you, but not really, for me, right? Because I did a course this morning on how to become a known quantity in the world to my monster nation, and while I was here, I wanted to cut Super Coach, and I wanted to really bring you a theory that I have. Every week I come to you with a new Super Coach. Super Coach has a mission. We want to do three things. We want to multiply your life, we want to multiply your money, and we want to multiply your business. A good coach should accelerate your path. A good coach should find your missing structures. A good coach, hey, I'm listening to my own self here. A good coach should help you play at a higher frequency. So today, here's the topic, how to become known in the world. Here's the concept. You don't have a talent problem. You're probably one of the best in the world. The problem you really have is a marketing and distribution problem. That's what we're covering today, and you're watching Super Coach live from the Greatness Factory.
Everybody needs a coach in life. Coaching businesses and entrepreneurs like you to spike an additional 40% to your bottom line. Michael Burt is a multi-championship coach, best-selling author, trainer, motivator, and all-around super coach. Now, from the Greatness Factory Studios, this is Super Coach.
Welcome back, Super Coach. Got a great show for you today. Got a great thing going today. Just finished a fascinating session with the Monster Producers. If you're not in Monster Producer, you're considering having a coach in your life, you're looking for somebody to accelerate you, you have a strong desire to perform at a higher level. You don't need a coach, folks, because something's wrong with you. You need a coach because you have a desire to go to a higher frequency. You want to become known. You need a better strategy. You want to break through the ceiling that you've had. So I just had a great session with Monster Producers literally all over the world, and I taught them how to become a known quantity in the world. Okay, and the theory is, I wrote a book on this called Person of Interest. There's two books that I recommend from today's show. One is Person of Interest, how you become the person other people want a piece of and cannot live without, so that you're the buyer versus the seller. The other book is called Single Digit Millionaire, which is my story of going from a high school basketball coach to one of the top business coaches in America, and how did I find my primary skill? How did I market and distribute that skill? How did I build networks with that skill, around that skill? And then ultimately, how did I create networks of exchange? I'm about to do this when I build Greatness Factories. In Nashville will be my first city. I've got a meeting tomorrow to go over the plans for that. It's going to be one of the coolest and most tremendous, energetic places in the world. It's where greatness is going to take place. What does that do? Helps me become known. Helps me interact with the other top people. Helps me play at a higher frequency. So today in Super Coach, I really want to break this down into what the real problem is for you. And I wish I could see a raise of hands for the people that are out there watching. How many of you believe you don't have a talent problem? You believe you've worked your whole life, you've worked the muscle, you've got the skill, you've fought through the adversity, and the real problem you have is not a talent problem. The real problem you have is a marketing problem. Skill's good, talent's good, right? You can solve a problem with your skill. The problem is you're unknown. The problem is obscurity. The problem is you're the best kept secret, not only in your city, but on planet Earth. This is how I felt over the last few years, incredibly frustrated, knowing that you could put me on any stage in the world and I could hold my own, knowing that I had spent 28 years of my life working a primary skill, knowing that I could play with the highest people in the world. No, I knew it. Then it's about, how do I distribute this to the world? So let me put it into a category. How do you find your special? Let me call it a primary skill. How do you find your primary skill? How do you package that skill? Paul Broyles. And then ultimately, how do you sell that skill? If I were to add another category, Roy Frazier, how do you find it? How do you package it? How do you market it? And how do you sell it? I'm going to use another word for the purpose of this show. How do you distribute your talent to the world, Megan Farrell? How do you take your talent, package it up, pretty it up, and then push it out so people know, dang, you're good. Okay? Don't matter how good you are, Will Webb or Will Weaver. Don't matter how good you are, Amy Brandon, Holtz. Don't matter how good you are, because the best products don't always win. Many times the worst products win. The best marketed products win. Chris Travis. So here's the premise today. Here's really 4 or 5 things I want you to get in your brain. Number one, the people that I believe, this is personal beliefs of Coach Burt, Dale Childress. Personal beliefs of Coach Burt is real simple. The people who get the most attention get the most opportunity. I want to teach you something called return on objective. See, you're thinking in terms of return on investment. Return on investment. I put $1 in, I get $3 back. Well, let's think in a different way for a second. Would you be open to thinking in a different way? Would you be open to thinking in return on objective? And if I believe that the people who get the most attention get the most opportunity, they get the most leads, it's not just leads. You got to get out of your brain that leads is the only opportunity out there. What about just people bringing you opportunity? What about people bringing you deals? What about people bringing you land deals or real estate deals or partnership deals or any deals? I believe the people who get the most attention get the most opportunity. It's not just business leads. It's opportunity in the world. Okay? Now, I also believe that the best products don't always win. Many times it is the best marketed products. Okay? I also believe that everything is based on perception. Now, this is very important, and you need to hear this. You need to hear this. You are building your perception. Now, raise your hand if you have ever gotten a bad reputation in your life. If you had a reputation, how many of you would say that you had a hand in creating that reputation? If you got a reputation for being a sorry person, it's most likely you've been sorry. If you got a reputation for being lazy, it's most likely because you've been lazy. If you got a reputation for not following through, it's because you don't follow through, folks. Okay? I have earned almost every reputation I've ever gotten in my life. So here's what I would tell you. Perception, Greg Higley, is you can craft perception. And perception is other people's reality. So Facebook is a website. You are building perception. When I get dressed up, when I look like somebody, when I lose weight, when I get in better shape, when I have high energy, when I bring valuable content, I am building a perception. Okay? You are building your perception by what you push out to the market. And everything is based on perception. Now, let me teach you something about status. If people believe a relationship with you will elevate their status, they will move toward you. If they believe a relationship with you will decrease their status, they will move away from you. If they believe you are a person of advancement, meaning you are an advancing person, when I'm with you, my life increases, it advances, they will gravitate towards you. If they believe you are a person of retreat, contraction, fear, they will move away from you. People gravitate toward people they think will take them to a higher frequency. So here's the deal. If everything is perception, what are you putting out on your website every day? Now, I'm not talking about your physical website. I'm talking about on your Facebook, on your Instagram, are you saying to the world, I'm moving, I'm creating, I'm going places, I'm becoming somebody, I'm changing the world? Or are you putting out to the world, hey, I'm doing nothing. I'm bored, I'm static, I'm stuck, I'm in a rut, there's no movement, there's no circulation, right? What's on your video screen every day? You heard people say, Chad Rollinger, I always heard people say, Khaleesi Dow, don't judge a book by its cover. Okay, I don't know who came up with that. I don't know what bozo created that. If you don't think people, hey, go to a restaurant that looks like a complete dump outside, that's eroding from the thing, that looks trashy, and tell me, say, oh yeah, I'd really like to go in there and have some lunch today. Looks like a good place to have lunch today, right? Everybody judges everything based on perception. Are you giving people the perception that you are going somewhere, or you are stuck, bored, complacent, in a rut? So becoming known in the world has to do with one thing, Billy Mulder, and congratulations on your recovery and getting back up and going. Doing something big in the world is based on a perception that when I attach myself to you, we are going to go somewhere. We're going to do something. We're going to create something. We're going to become something. We're not static. So I'll stop this session and take a break on this. Becoming known in the world, if I had to sum it up, if I had to rewrite person of interest, and I'm going to rewrite person of interest, probably to person of power and influence. That's going to be the sequel to person of interest. Power is a means or source for supplying energy. Powerful people are means and sources for supplying energy to other people. Okay, that's why we're attracted to them. They're people of advancement. They give us the impression of increase, right? Now, if I had to sum up person of interest, it is about one thing. Becoming known in the world is about doing something bold. If you're trying to figure out why people are not attracted to you, why people don't want to join your team, why people don't want to be your customers, it's because you're not doing anything significant in the world. And Maxwell said it best on this one. Once you taste significance, success will never satisfy you. I'm Coach Michael Burt. Come on back in segment number 2. I'm going to talk about how you distribute your message to the world, how you become known, how you do something big, how you play at a higher frequency. You're watching Super Coach, live from the Greatness Factory. I'm Coach Michael Burt. I just finished the Monster Growth Boot Camp at my lodge, and man, was it probably the best boot camp I've ever done. People will tell you, when they get in that room, magic happens.
It's like going to a Bruce Springsteen concert. He gave us more than I was expecting. I went to a concert one time with him, and it was 4 hours long, which was unusual. Coach Burt put his heart and soul into this thing.
It's an amazing experience because he brings so much energy, so much passion, and he always gives 120%.
Being coached by Coach today was fantastic.
Coach Burt has always helped me maximize my potential and go just above and beyond.
Being coached by Coach is one of the best investments that I've made in my life.
Coach is intense, and there's really nothing like being in the room with him.
If you do not know anything about Coach Burt, he's the people's coach.
The people were hungry, the environment was incredible and electric, the content was so rich and powerful. You see, I spent 2 days breaking down the entire Monster Growth system. How do you activate your prey drive? How do you explain your services in a world-class way? How do you generate leads through a selling system? How do you follow up like crazy? How do you become a person of interest? How do you extract referrals out of your current clients? For 2 days, we broke each part of that methodology down with real-life examples, practical frameworks, exercises for people to do. And people left there, man, on fire. It was incredible. If you get a chance to come to my lodge, spend 2 days with me. Let me break these concepts down. Monster Growth Boot Camp at my lodge, one of the best experiences of my life. Welcome back to Super Coach. I'm Coach Michael Burt. I believe everybody needs a great coach in life, right? I'm here every single week to add, be an asset to you, take you to a higher frequency, show you how to earn more income. Be a coach in your life, man. Sometimes kick you in the hind end. Like one of the things as I get older, Shiloh King and Corey Jacobs and Dusty Durrell, one of the things I'm doing as I get older, Pastor Ken, is, man, I'm getting back to who I am. I found myself. Right? I was a stranger to my own self for about 4 or 5 years, trying to be what other people thought I should be. Soft, cuddly, friend, coddling. That ain't me, man. That ain't me. I'm getting back to Coach Burt, the one who won championships, the one who went out there and produced, the one who went out and got it. That's what people need today, man. They need to fight the funk. They need to get out of bed. They need to get out of their jogging pants. They need to get a good shave on. They need to get dressed up. They need to do something. I don't care if you get dressed up to go to the freaking grocery store. Get dressed up to go have lunch with somebody. Get dressed up and do something, man. Do something in the world. That's what we're talking about today. You don't have a talent problem, you got a marketing problem. Some of you got a lazy problem. Some of you got an insecurity problem. Some of you got a confidence problem. Some of you got a small thinking problem. Some of you got a friend problem. Some of you got an employee problem. Some of you got, right? So you got all kinds of problems. But one of the biggest problems you got is maybe you're really good, but you don't know how to take your message to the world. And in this session, I'm going to teach you this, Jake Jones. People of interest that have big dreams, one of the things I would tell you about those people is they have a message. They have a set of beliefs. And they distribute. I'm going to use the word distribute in place of market. Marketing is translating a need into a profit. Marketing is seeing a problem and promoting to the problem, to people who will pay to solve that problem. That's what marketing is. You have a problem. I have a solution to that problem. I am trying to distribute my skill to solve your problem. You've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 100 times. Money don't buy you freedom. People think money buys you freedom, folks. Money don't buy you freedom. Skills buy you freedom. The stronger your skills, the more money you're going to make. The stronger your primary skill, Chris West, the stronger your primary skill, the more money you're going to make. You got weak skills, you're going to make little money, man. You got weak skills, common skills, commoditized skills, average skills, nobody will pay good money for those skills. Okay? So if you're having a hard time finding work right now, here's a suggestion. How about going to work on you? Your attitude, your mindset, your skill set. Quit blaming other people for your lot in life. Dadgummit, you are where you are today based on every decision you made up to today. If you decided not to educate yourself, if you decided to be lazy, if you decided to stay home in your pajamas, that's on you, man. I wouldn't hire anybody who was interested in that. I'm hiring the hustler. I'm hiring the interested. I'm hiring the curious. I'm hiring the talented. I'm hiring the driven. I sure as heck ain't hiring the lazy. I've never met a lazy person of interest, Jack. All my years, I've never met a lazy person of interest. Now, here's what I want you to know. Persons of interest that have a good talent, here's what they do. They understand if I don't have a message that repels some people, I won't have a message that attracts the right people. If I don't have a message that pushes some people away, I won't have a message that attracts some people to me. Everybody see that? People of interest have beliefs. They know, Dustin Howard, when they push those beliefs, that some people ain't gonna like them. How many of you in your life, raise your hand if you've lived your whole life playing under the radar, trying to be liked, trying to build consensus, trying not to piss anybody off, trying not to state your opinion, trying to get everybody to like you. Listen, most people have spent their whole life right here, right in the middle. People don't remember people in the middle. Now, one of the strongest things I said in today's class with my monster producers was this, and I didn't even plan to say it, I just said it. At the end of your life, there's going to be 4 people that get up and say something at your eulogy. I've actually had to speak at funerals where nobody knew anything to say. And they called me and said, we don't know, Coach, they haven't done anything. They've lived an average, common, ordinary life. They haven't really helped a bunch of people. They haven't really done anything admirable. They haven't really. Now what do I come in and say? Do I lie? Do I come in and say, you know what, hey, this person was an incredible person? You need to be at the end of your life where 4 people say something about you. Your friend, spouse or partner, co-worker, community member, and they say, this dude changed the world. This dude got up and distributed his talents. This dude fought the fight every freaking day, man. This dude moved the needle. You don't want to get to the end of your life and somebody go, man, I don't know what to say. They didn't do anything. Some of you are not doing enough things in the world to become people of interest. You're playing so small and local. Now, Dustin Howard, I want to say this to you because somebody said it to me. I was talking about dominating Nashville 7 or 8 years ago. I was in Mexico. I was with a big-time dude. And I kept talking about Nashville. I'm going to dominate Nashville. I'm going to dominate Murfreesboro. I'm going to dominate this. And he stopped me and said, quit, man. That's embarrassing. I mean, what do you mean? It's embarrassing. He said, yeah, the way you're talking is embarrassing. He said, your market is planet Earth. From now on, when you talk about what you're going to dominate, it ain't local. It ain't regional. It ain't super regional. It ain't national. It ain't even international. If there's people on Mars, you're going to impact them too. If there's people in outer space, you're going to impact them too. Your market is planet Earth. Now, when he said that to me, I was like, dang, man. I thought I was doing something good here. He said, you're doing good things, but you're doing them so small. You're doing them at such a local level. That was one of the strongest and best comments I could ever make. People of interest have a message. They have strong belief, and they distribute that belief with a frequency. They don't. If you've had revelation, if you have conviction, if you're taking action, that's the 3 steps me and Tim Story talk about. If you had some big revelation, aha moment, you have some conviction, you are willing to take all kinds of action, folks, and people are going to be able to sense that passion, right? People of interest have a message. They distribute and market that message to thousands, if not millions of people. People build an affinity, and they gravitate to you. That's called affinity. You don't have a talent problem. You got a marketing problem. Come back in segment number 3, and I'm going to show you how to distribute your message to the world. Mature people can differ in opinions based on scripting, genetics, physiological, psychological viewing. You create a paradigm in your life, an individual lens through which you see the world. When other people see the world differently than you, it doesn't make them wrong and you right. You have your opinion and they have their opinion. This is the backbone of our society. The ability to pursue your own potential, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. The ability to get up every day and go do it. There will be opposition, there will be difference of opinions, and there will be conflict. Anybody who ever did anything big faced all of those things. How will you handle that conflict? Conflict is necessary for expansion. Welcome back, Super Coach. Every week I come to you. We've had over 200,000 downloads on this podcast. You want to find this on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, YouTube. Every single week I come in here just to coach you. It's completely free to you. I bring you value. I bring you concepts. I bring you straight. Just one of these concepts. I was on my plane last week picking up a dude running a, $100 million company. And he said to me, the value of a good coach is just one idea, man. One tactic. One strategy. One mental construct. One thing that can completely elevate you. Well, Tim Story and I are going to do that for you in our Comebacks and Confidence. This is a 4-week course. If you're out there listening, 4-week course with Tim Story, #1 life coach in the world. He's coached Robert Downey Jr. for a comeback. He's been on Oprah Winfrey Super Soul. He's coached some of the top celebrities in the world. He's been a pastor. He's traveled to 76 countries. Guys, this guy is good. And he and I have partnered for the Confidence and Comebacks 4-week mentoring series. You get him, you get me. I don't know what else you can get, man. You get 2 of the best coaches in the country. Coaching you for 4 weeks on how to boom, confidence, boom, comebacks, boom, get up, man. Fight the funk. Get out of that dang funk you've been in, okay? You've been all funked up. I told somebody, Jack, that I was going to say that one day, and I'm going to mess it up, probably on national television. You all funked up, man, okay? And we got to get you out of the funk. So if you're out there and you're watching us today, John King, Hubert Payne, Sonny Spain, Nathan Crocker, guys, today I've been putting on a show today. I got my own pants on. I got my own shirt on. Feels good to get dressed up and look like somebody. Just riding into work this morning. Have my sunglasses on, just looking at folks going, man, I'm ready. You don't feel like that when you're in your flip-flops and your jogging pants, man. You don't feel like that when you're dragging around your house all day long. You need energy. You need the world. So here's the topic for today, Charlie. The topic for today is you don't have a talent problem, you got a marketing problem. I'm going to say it a different way. You haven't found your talent. You don't know how to package your talent. You don't know how to sell your talent. Now, once I had my voice in life, and I wrote the book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life, that was my message. And I took that message and I wrote a book on it. Okay? Then I did a podcast on it. Then I did a series on it. Then I built a coaching program around it. Then I did articles about it. Then I put it on social media. Then I did partnerships. Then I did one-day events. Then I did boot camps. I just gave you 10 ways I made money with that concept. I got a new concept, flip the switch, new book I'm writing. I'm doing a boot camp next weekend at my lodge. Already 26 people have already signed up for that. 3 days with me at my lodge. It ain't going to get any better than that. I'm going to use every tactic necessary to flip the switch in those people. I create a concept. I take the concept and I do social media. I do blogs and position papers. I get credibility indicators. I do marketing and advertising. I do events and I push that concept out to the market. And I market and distribute that concept. I market and distribute that concept. Did everybody hear what I said? I market and distribute that concept. Okay, I got a talent, I got a skill, it solves a problem. Now I got to let people know, here's your problem, and here's how I can solve that problem. And I distribute my content to them in a systematic way. Some of you post one time, it's like throwing a pebble in the Pacific Ocean. Come on, man. You need frequency. You need to bang it out. You need to hit the list. You need to push harder. You need to distribute your message. When I wrote the book, The Accountable Church, here's what I said. The reason people don't go to church is because they're not dynamic. They're static. I grew up in a church that was static. No kids programs. Everybody that was in church was 85 years old. There's nothing new and exciting going on. Why do you think membership went from 100 people to 60 people to 50 people to 40 people? You know why? Because ain't nothing going on. It's not dynamic. 10,000 churches die every year in the United States because they don't have any money. They're not dynamic churches. The church is a structure. The people in the church, you could have the church right here at the Greatness Factory. And if it's alive and vibrant, people are going to come. So my point to you is, you don't have a talent problem. What you're doing is you're doing a very poor job of distributing your talent to the world. That's marketing. Marketing is letting a person know who's got a problem that you can solve that problem. And if people don't even know who you are, what's the likelihood of them even paying you to solve the problem? So I want you to think of it like this. Every day I wake up, I got a message. And the message is based on something I've got. Right now it's confidence and comebacks. Me and Tim's story. How do you get back up? How do you fight the funk? How do you rise up? How do you get through this? How do you come out stronger? How do you use adversity to accelerate progress? That's the message. And I'm going to, boom, push it. Videos, Instagram, Facebook Lives. This afternoon I'm doing a Facebook Live with Tim's story. He and I, boom, let's do it together, Tim. Push it out to your 500,000 people. I'll push it out to my 200,000 people. That's 700,000 people that are going to have access to that message. That is pushing something out to the market. Okay? So for some of you, got a message, got a talent, do a poor job of pushing out to the market. That ain't nobody's fault but your own. And you say, why don't anybody know me? Why are we not getting any business at our retail store? Why are we not hitting our sales numbers? Because you're laying around in your pajamas, damn it. That's why. So it's time to get up, rise up. Get up off the floor, do something, take action, call somebody, work the muscle, man. That's what it's time to do, guys. Okay, and I'm so sick of people allowing some external factor. Let me tell you something. A virus ain't keep you from picking up the phone. It ain't keeping you from pushing something out, reading something, studying something. It ain't keeping you from doing anything. This right here still works. Okay, use it. This works. These work. If they're working, then work them. Okay? So for you, we got to go out there and we got to distribute our talent to the world. So let me close it off. Nothing's going to change until you change it. You know how many times I've talked about this problem? You don't have a talent problem, you got a marketing problem. Many of you will go right back out there today, probably 95% of you, and complain because nobody knows who you are. Complain because you're not making enough money. Complain because you can't get people to your business. Complain because you're struggling. That's what you'll do. That's the choice you'll make. Between stimulus and response is a space. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out into the market. Here's the 5 things I'm going to do. And I taught my students this morning. I'm going to decide, number 1, what I'm going to be famous for. It's going to be greatness factors. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Building greatness factors all over the world. That's what I'm going to be famous for. I'm going to be famous for being the number 1 activator prey drive in the world. That's what I'm going to be famous for. Number 2, I'm going to get clear on my message and my beliefs. Number 3, I'm going to distribute my message with a high frequency, whether people like it or don't like it. Number 4, I'm going to establish credibility indicators, book, podcast, partnership, circulation. Number 5, I'm going to be so dang good, every time I interact with people, they're going to remember it. If it's 1 minute or 27 minutes or 270 minutes, be so good they can't ignore you. And number 6, and I'm most excited about this, guys, I'm going to do something bold and something exciting. I'm going to do something bold and inspiring. I want my life to inspire other people. Okay, we've been having a hard time getting our son on a right sleep schedule. He sleeps from 6 to 9 and then stays up all night. He's 5 weeks old. And my wife had a genius idea this morning. She said, well, here's what we're going to do. When we get up in the morning, we're going to get him up. We're going to get him dressed. We go about the world, he's going to go with us. He's not just going to lay around all day long and goof off. I know he's only 5 weeks old. He don't know what's going on. But we're going to teach him that in our house, we get up and we get dressed and we move. We don't sit. We're not stuck. We're not static. He will understand this later in his life. I'm going to tell him, when you were 5 weeks old, we put clothes on you every morning. We got you dressed up in your little blue jeans and your little tennis shoes, and we took you out into the world, big guy. Ella Grace, we had her on a plane 3 months old, taking her to other places in the world. Okay? We're moving. That's the message you want to send to the world on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your LinkedIn. Send a message, Garner, that you're moving. You are never static. Okay? Quit complaining that not enough people know who you are and start taking action on letting people know who you are. I'm Coach Michael Burt. If you're not in my coaching program, you never consider my coaching program, but you're watching me and you're watching me for a reason, man. Let me challenge you. This is good. It's all good that I can entertain you for a little bit on Facebook, on YouTube. It ain't nothing like being coached by me. One thought, one strategy, one concept can change your whole life, man. But I can't coach you if you don't commit. Commit to confidence and comeback. Commit to Monster Producer. Commit to Flip the Switch. Commit to being in a room with me. Commit to being coached by me. Get off the sideline. How long are you going to sit there and say, man, I got potential? Potential's cute at 14, but it ain't at 42. It's time, man. It's time to go big or go home, as old James Harper would say. So, I'm Coach Michael Burt. You're listening to Super Coach. You're watching Super Coach. Every week, multiplying life, money, and business. Email me at coach@coachburt.com if you want to take action on anything. You guys have a great week. Boom. Flip the switch, right? That's what I want to do for you. 8 out of 10 people have never flipped the switch in their life. They've never found their prey drive. They've never activated that primal, instinctive drive inside of them to have the courage to see something and go get it. Guys, I've spent 28 years of my life activating the drive in other people. Come spend 3 days with me at my lodge and let me teach you the psychology of motivation, the understanding of how to play at the highest frequencies, success readiness, how to sell, how to put together multi-million-dollar deals, how to walk into a room, how to speak, how to coach, how to train, how to lead, how to market like an animal. See, my boot camp, Flip the Switch, based on my new book that's coming out, will help you find the activator in you. Flip the switch and never go back to your original dimension.